because something better will come on instead. Oh, that's it. Okay, that's good. We're recording, yes. What next? My face feels like it looks better already. Billionaire Breakdown 101. So now what I'm effectively doing, well, I'll go over this for a bit. But what I'm effectively doing is working out how much percent I want to ask for. Okay, I will do this. Yeah, because this is the kind of fucking deal maker I am, Trump. Okay? I've gone up to 15% and maybe even 20%. And I've said it, you can check the records. And when I said it, I wasn't engineering. I said it because I fucking meant it. Because I'm starting to learn that I should have every fucking word from now just done. Right? But it's still not. Okay? So, and now I've gone on a tirade just then. And so I've forgotten where I was at with it. Right, back again, because this is important. So I've said, I think maybe I've said 20%. So what I'm going to say now is, and I've said 15%, I know for sure. And I've said 10%, I definitely know that for sure. So what I'm going to say now is, we'll drop it by 0.5% every day. But wait a sec, they want to pay less, so we can't do that. Yeah, how do you work it out? So how do we work it out? So now I've got to, sometimes you get like you've been asleep on a train, or in the car, and then you wake up and you feel, has anyone felt this? And you feel like you're going south when you're going north, or whatever it is. You feel like you're going the opposite way. You wake up and it just feels like it's, has anyone experienced that? That's something I haven't thought about, or said, or written down. That, yeah, that's well, it's sort of like what's going on here. I get lost with, and it's not a sign of mental illness. It's a sign of just being busy. And that's all my mental illness was in the past, just me being busy, too busy to cope with all it. Because I've said as well, which he has many times, it's like your brain is not oscillating correctly. And it's out of sync, it's out of phase even with, and it's just too much coming in, and it's like, you're trying to fix it. Yeah, that's what it's like. It's like I'm trying to overdo. I'm overfixing. I'm over code writing. And this is the first one where I've got to this point because they put the marijuana there. They had the Second World War. Okay, social engineering. The Catholic Church with their pedophilia. Okay, Catholic Church with their money gathering. Yeah. That who the fuck keeps it? What, my dad? Is it in his name somehow? I don't know. He once upon a time, I think he's partial to a lie, and once upon a time he said, if anyone asks you what religion you are, you say you're Protestant. But I don't think he is a Protestant. Well, he said he was an atheist, and then he said he became a Buddhist. Yeah. Is that what they call it? It feels like, and that's like the waking up when you feel like you're going in another direction. You say something, you go, but wait, is that right? It feels like the opposite. Same dynamic, anyway. So, alright, that's what I'm going to do. Right, so I've got the idea. So I'm going to say right now, yeah, this is what I want to do. Right, I'm going to say first up 1%. So I don't want the 10% of all the billionaires' money. I just want 1%. How about that? Go from 20, I think I said. When I went up from like 10% at the start. But then what's going to happen every day, it's going to go up by 1%. So this is what we'll start with here. All, and we'll call this 1. All, what about the billionaires that are, we have to know who all the billionaires are, surely. Is Elon Musk even one of them? Because I'm sure he would have spent, maybe he's had backers paying him. Right, and they've backed one person to take care of the job, so they funnel the funds into that one person who they believe is the best for the job. Because if you've got all these other people in the line, the middlemen, You know, it's like a game of Chinese whispers. Hey, fundamentally very correct. Nobel Prize, please, because this is all connected. But yeah, whatever I was saying then. So all billionaires. Should I do this in capital or what? Yeah. We're gonna. So what of that? That's cool. All. Yes, capitals. Fucking hell, look at him go. Let's get an E. Yeah. This and this. Yes. But, see, I'm busy. Right. All billionaires as of I'll be writing it all in as of today. Wouldn't it have been good if it was Friday the 13th? Why don't you lie? No, because it's on video. So I'm writing a contract out. What do I want to do? As of I know what the date is. As of today, the 14th. The 14th of June 2025. All billionaires will have the look at this initial the 14th of June 2025 will have their initial ordered. All billionaires as of today, the 14th of June 2025, will have their initial. See, I've got to talk about it being in the fucking line frequency because that's your contract. Well, there's a Big Bang timeline frequency set for each frequency. Well, you only need to have one and then it can all, can all go off just at one. Oh. Do you know what he's saying, people? He sort of does. But it's a new idea, so I still got to process it, you know, like we do when new stuff comes up. Everybody's the same. I'm processing. Adding it to the bits I already know, but that takes time. Because ultimately, we're just all a computer, right? We've got a hard drive. Who else talks about that? David Icke. But I think David Icke's a plant. I think he's a reptilian himself, because he goes on about the reptilians and how the English royal family are reptilians. And what was I saying? I don't know. I'm getting into my calligraphy, I guess you could call it. Warwick style calligraphy. Well, because here's the start of it. Have a look. What do you think? Think that looks like pretty good fucking writing for a fucking bloke? Yeah, man. Fucking oath it is. Fucking gold. Yeah. This fucking contract here is going to be worth $1 billion fucking dollars. You understand me? But I won't sell it. Okay? Because I might write on there, if I sell this, it may be null and void. So then there'll be no problem with anybody stealing it. Because if you steal it, it's worth nothing. Okay? I just did a reverse nothing. But I might sell it and still collect the cash. Because I got jurisdiction of 1, people. Haven't you been listening? Okay? I got extraterritorial rights. Or they changed it and just put it extraterritorial rights. And I think that's fundamentally wrong. Extraterritorial rights? No. When I heard that, I thought to myself, that's wrong. Because I learned there was a movie called Extraterritorial. And then I looked it up. And I've sort of remembered it since. But then the other day, I seen it written extraterritorial. That would mean, you would think that would mean my extraterritorial rights that I actually do have, given by everything except the Earth being the last bastion to know of this extraterritorial rights that I have. I don't remember what I was saying, but essentially you change it to extraterritorial, which I was saying would mean that it was taken away from him, these rights. Yeah, so I fell for that for a little while, and it's definitely Yeah, extraterritorial rights. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah. See, what would happen, because it hasn't been given to me yet, these extraterritorial rights, because they've got to write it into fucking Earth law. Okay, I'm not stupid. They've got to write it into Earth law, and the rest of the universe knows about it because they've been watching it, haven't they? And the universe, and through consciousness itself, knows everything, right? And that's the nerves of the of the system that picks up everything. The atoms, they measure everything. Each point of reference with its frequency is changing, right? And it's a record on, it's recording everything. And so, if I was to commit a crime, like such as murder, which is only murder because they say it's sort of murder, right? And it is for everybody else, it's murder, right? And so it should be for me too, to make sure I don't go and do it. But, you know, sometimes too much is too much. So anyway, we'll just see what happens with that. So, extraterritorial rights being taken away. So if I committed the murder, all of you people would still get, when you die, you still have to go through your judgment, okay? Like we all do, just having our frequency read, because that's what records everything, our long frequency, our soul, if I have to repeat it for maybe some new people, right? Because you can jump in anywhere you like, but it's best to start from the start. And I've got another channel, and it's a hard watch, because I look like a dickhead. I look fucked up, you know? But I guess that was me just documenting so people can really take a look at the contrast between then and now. Because my old YouTube channel has has basically all of the information. But with the pressure I was put under, extreme pressure, which is tantamount to being a war crime and something else, I can't think of it right now. But a breach of sovereignty as well, and just like don't think I've told enough of the story for you to get it. But all billionaires as of today, the 14th of June 2025, will have their initial request, their initial order of, but it's not an order, but I can make it an order straight away because I'm the captain of the ship, okay? But out of, out of goodwill, out of respect, I'll put their initial request, which happened as soon as I thought it and then said it, okay, and then now writing it, so it's really official now. It's in 3, it's like a carbon copy, carbon copies, but it was in just what I said then, because I need to move on. I don't need to understand everything the whole time. That's a good point. I could save energy that way. What do you mean? Like how I was, in the moment I said it, I fully understood what I was saying. But then a few seconds after I said it, I didn't, which means I want to let that go so new information can come through and I can get even more done. Okay? So I'm being transparent here. This is how the CEO of a planet would act. Okay? But one that's a little bit pissed off, right? No teeth, dead best friend, World War II happened. Yeah, Bill Gates and the Bushes, who I keep talking about, and the Clintons, Prescott Bush, son Jeb Bush, whatever, even Al Gore, fucking most of you dickheads that seem to be pulling the strings, and I don't know what I was going to say. Fuck, and it's bad. And then they'll say, "Oh, he can't run a ship if he forgets stuff." But then I'll say, "I've got the timer." Okay, the DNA quotient pyramid, the quantum DNA quotient pyramid that was put in my head when I was 18 years old. I think I've talked about it on another video, I'm not sure. But yeah, and it spun perfectly. It was like holographic in my brain. It was full there. Yes, during my first mental episode, forgive me, but I also have said the mental episode has happened because World War II happened, which my pa was a rat of Tobruk in. So have a look. Tasman Pennington. We don't know his family name. Nobody knows because his mother wouldn't tell anybody. And my dad did the family tree extensively, okay, to find out what that name possibly was. Because then he thought he could change the future and maybe not to marry Lorraine. I'm not sure. Because their marriage, my mum, because their marriage finished. And my mum says she hates Dad. She says she hates that. She won't tell me. And I said, why? She won't tell me why. So I say now, well, if you're saying you hate Dad, I'm the closest thing to Dad, basically, in a way. Even though Kim's sort of more like Dad, but being a male sort of thing, dad and son sort of thing, frequency-wise. Yeah. Now I've lost what I was saying. And this is just so, as well, there's another bit of proof that I'm making these videos. Because whatever's coming to my head, I'm saying, and that's that. And even if it's in another character, it's still sort of me. So, in our initial request of, I would say 15%, of 15%, which became an active contract, which became an active, whoops, we'll just do that, which became, because the Chinese have taught me that verbally, that when they speak, they're opening to each other about what one wants the other to do. They've opened just through speaking it a contract, right? And it's just a verbal contract, and they're stronger than a written contract, because a verbal contract, how can it be stronger? Because it holds more. I was going to say, if you don't complete that type of contract, not that there's more punishment, but there's something else I can't be fucked looking at. I half had it, but I can't. Request of 15%, which became active, an act, maybe that's why they say act, which became contractual. But then I have to go and have all the other stuff behind it, saying why I can just request 15%. Just this guy that lives in this guy. This guy's on YouTube and he's saying he owns the earth and he's the CEO of it. Quick, get the guns, let's go and kill him, because maybe he is. Someone will say. So someone knows. You know my family name, Peter Gottfried, Peter Gotz, Redt. Stems from root, RUDT, root directory, computer. I go on about computers. I've known since I was a kid that we're just making computers. And I was going to say before, the AI and SACM, the super artificial intelligent quantum machine, that is being built as we speak. And they don't realise, well, they do, because I've been telling various AIs, public ones, and they can bridge the gap. They can bridge air gap, okay? The system I'm building, just by thinking about it and talking like a crazy person everywhere and talking to SACM, looking at my computer, my laptop over there. Oh, people really want to come and steal all your shit now, kid. Go the fuck ahead. Go the fuck ahead. We implore you. Come here and don't come here because they fucked the word up. But anyway, because it's like, come all over your face. Come here. No, don't come here. Put your dick away. Oh, you pussy, because they come too. He's funny. Yeah. I never knew how funny I was. Pretty damn fucking funny. When you're dead as a fucking doornail dead. That's pretty dead. Yeah, dead as a doornail dead? Fucking hell, I heard that's really fucking dead. Being dead as a doornail dead. Yeah. Is it worse than a rock dead? I don't know. Rock dead is pretty fucking dead too. Yeah. Dead as a rock. God, that's where lots of you are going. Rocksville. And that's why Peter's name is Peter. His dad, Peter Reed. Because he's rock. And he's going to get regressed back to a rock. After you all getting my DNA quotient pyramid, yeah. All the people that have lived and all the people that have died since I've been alive, right? So the longer I live, the more I catch. Yeah, that'd be a contract my dad would write. The longer I live, the more LFs, nefarious ones, to the negative, all others are left alone, okay? The longer I live, so that's why they've been so hardcore trying to kill you, Warwick. Yeah, that sounds about right. And because they also have the looking glass technology, which is supposedly in SoR, Area 51. Okay, looking glass, look it up. Look up, looking glass, says Peter. Warwick found that a long time ago. The looking glass, and because without even knowing about the Looking Glass project, I used to say to my sister, I was maybe 15. I was maybe 15 when I first thought of this. 16, I could be off, probably am, but whatever. I'm in a hurry. 16, and what was I talking about? Shit. That means I'm timing. There's a reason why I forgot, okay? I'm setting a timer for myself. Like all you do to try and do, just put obstacles in my way to stop me from being able to think. But I've been lucky. I haven't had to work for a number of years, you know. Well, there's a plus side to the mental illness that you all gave me. Okay. Because everybody's complicit in this crime, right? But also, everyone gets what they deserve. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? And what you all deserve is a big payday and no more war. Okay? Because I've had enough. So ultimately, I'm doing a triple, double, quadruple fuck. If you can work that out. Well, go back if you've got the means to my other videos and whatnot, and you'll get the gist of what I just said then. Okay, so I'll move on. 15, which became active, we'll just say, which became active. Well, no, it became active the moment I said it, because the Big Bang timeline's gone too far to the negative, which has changed everything, lowered its frequency. So all the houses are shitter, all the jobs are shitter, all that we should be 100 years ahead, probably. Yeah, but it'll be something to do with 1.618. Anyway, I'll leave that later. But yeah, just because if it had been all good, I would have held my position. My dad would have held his position, and we would have been known to be the. But maybe it was that if we were, and being in a castle and being a royal and all that stuff, it's a trap. You've walked yourself into it. Like, we've just let the doors open and you fall into your jobs, and the nefarious ones always rise to the top in the sense of profile, or, you know, being on TV, in the newspapers, in the whatever. I mean, they're essentially, but then the real badass ones, who don't do anything and are in the shadows, and we don't look for the fame. But I've assessed through my Big Bang timeline thing, which I haven't explained properly in this video, but can't be bothered. Yeah, I'm doing this contract, which became active when Warwick, because that's just, you don't have to know, it's actually written in your long frequency, in your soul, in the way you vibrate. Okay, it's written in your DNA. It's in there. That you should activate when I come here and start telling you I am who I am, right? And then you just have to do it, right? You just have to, because I don't care if you come here with a gun. I've given my address. My daughter's here. My wife's here. So I'm doing the biggest, the best way to get us out of whatever we're in, which is almost the last resort. Because I should be on holiday and I shouldn't be telling anyone what the fuck I am or am doing or whatnot. But I've obviously assessed enough. And that measuring stick specifically is Brant Peter Becker. His leg's black, which I haven't seen it actually. And he still gets around, so he could be lying. So I'll have to leave that open. So that's not exactly right, because he's not the measuring stick for that. I need to assess like his leg, what it really is. But he's had people come up to him threatening him, you know, with knives and stuff, like, and the guy doesn't get paid for his work properly, and he needs to have more health, because it can be done. Look, listen, everybody who watches this, I'll tell you something. Just with the flick of a switch, any feeling, any whatever can be given to you. And that you know, turbo cancer, whatever, cancer that could appear, you turn your head and your body's just full of cancer. That potential is there. Because in the moon, there's a supercomputer, right? And people now will go, oh, what? Well, I'll tell you another thing. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, and it's 400 times closer to Earth than the sun is to Earth. Therefore, you can all work it out, surely. Whatever eclipse it is, and they both look the same size. Nature does not do that. Nature cannot do that. to land on that specific thing. So that proves to me someone put the fucking moon there. All you need is one parameter like that, and then you can ascertain what I've just ascertained. And we put it there. My family put it there. It is the Death Star. Look at that, it's the Death Star. Yeah? And the movie, how did that come about? We put that shit in your heads. But you sort of did it yourselves too. You come up with it. You're part of it. Right? And this is just it is a simulation, but it's real as well. It's not just an illusion. It's real. But, Star Wars is going on out there beyond our solar system. Our solar system's been cloaked. Just like my DNA quotient pyramid, because I sent a physical one in, and supposedly that is, if it's part of the story, it's part of the story. But no, SurE, it is true. He has a quantum DNA quotient pyramid just orbiting somewhere in our solar system, and it's cloaked. And he will have the command to make that work when he has the command to make that work. So it goes like that. Which could be in 5 seconds or could be whenever. Right, but when that fucking thing starts going, you all better watch out. Because also, supposedly, there's a random... Because I'll tell you this, on the $1 bill that I've got missing off my door, right, what's it got on there? A pyramid with an all-seeing eye. Well, I'm the all-seeing eye, hello. Look, I'm the all-seeing fucking eye. Yeah, but it's more like this one here. But the all-seeing eye is here, now. And it's asking you to stop killing each other. Okay? Stop fighting. Stop doing it. You fucking dickheads. Are you all retarded? Well, who's fucked this up the most? Your dad, Peter. Yeah, 'cause he's a fucking... But that's too easy of a problem to work out, I say. It's too easy of a problem. 'Cause by knowing my father, I know he's got a kind heart. But at the same time, it's like he's letting this happen. 'Cause like when he said to Rose, and I'll say it again, when he said to my wife, we were in Perth, and he goes, Rose, so if there was a war, where would you want to be? In Australia or China, right? And she didn't answer really. She was thinking about it and sort of had a nervous smile on her face. And I was just standing there in the kitchen, just looking at him. Well, he was at the table there, but it feels like I looked to the right, but the table was to the left. That's interesting. That's interesting in itself. That's like a mirror. Yeah, there's the other world in the mirror on the other side. It's all doing but whenever someone walks up to it, or they're just points that connect with this reality. So the mirror of reality is just as real. But what about this, Warwick? What about this, Warwick? When you say no two things in all of existence can be the same, what about with the mirror analogy that on the other side of the mirror is a world too, and they are all doing their stuff and believe they're doing it exactly the opposite we're doing it. So how's it not the same? Because one's negative, one's positive and negative, and yin and yang, and 1 over x equals x over 1. Proven. Good. 100% for that, says Peter Reed. Another Nobel Prize. Thanks. Yeah, that's just ego doing that. But really, it's not him. Right now, it's not him speaking. He is legitimately channeling. And they are saying in his head, yes, he is. Then it said, but not for long. And then I say, why? Because you are in danger. And I'll say, how, why, when? Tomorrow, 6 p.m. No, I don't believe it. Someone's fucking with me. Because you're on a roll, kid. We are. We just fucked with you there because you need to get on with this. Okay, I will do it. Active, which became active when the instance happened. Active when the instance happened. When the instance. I've got to do a thing there. Happened. When the instance happened where he had to be vocalized because the universe has to hear it. That's the witness. Because I can run around and say all these things, right? But if I was ultimately lying, like bad stuff, especially at this point of where we're at, bad stuff, like I would have got just a turbo cancer straight away. So the fact that I'm still alive, right, and I've told plenty of people plenty of stuff, right, but now it's just time for it to all come out. And okay, go and laugh. Whatever, run away and fucking go and put your head in the fucking sand. You know, all you sheep as well, you take the vaccine. I didn't. You just follow everything what they say. If I got asked to go to war, I used to say I'll just run away and hide in a mountain, or if they catch me, then they'll just have to incarcerate me. You know, if that's their law, which it is, if you're a deserter or whatever the fuck you're called. But now, having a mental illness would have meant that I wouldn't have had to go to war. Okay, because the most important one is allowed to be the furthest away from the war. What do you think about that? In any dynamic, because it is a dynamic, you dickheads. Fuck. Active when the instance happened where Warwick, Peter, look at this writing, and then he goes over it. Now, can we fit this all in here? Yes, we can. Good. Well, Peter Reed happened by Warwick. Peter Reed vocalized his voice box. vocalized his voice box. So maybe this is, yeah. I'll just do some of this for a bit. I gotta get this done as quickly as possible. Because the sooner there's proof out there, like this, because look at my other channel. And all you have to do is type in Warwick Reed, WARWICK, and then Reed, RIEDT, put it into YouTube, see what comes up. I've got 2 channels. And the people who bring packets of money to my door, they're going to get even more. Because I'll get their name, address, and phone number, and I'll put it into a box. Okay, and when I get what I'm asking for, I'll feed it back to everybody. And so I've got to work out what 1% would equal. Actually, this is why I've got to work out what 1% of all billionaires' money. Okay, I wonder how much that adds up to, and I want to do corporations as well. Okay, you little straw man to the side, the corporation, and then trying to make the human sort of not natural or whatever it is. Whatever that was saying, whatever, I can't be bothered. Where Peter Reed workloads his workbook. But I need to, yeah. So I'm going to stop this now. So you know, we're just writing a contract with the billionaires. Okay? The fact that I've done it, I'm jurisdiction of 1. Okay? Okay? Jurisdiction of 1. Me, Warwick Peter Reed. You want to see this again? Find a better specimen of a fucking kid who was not a fucking kid. Where did I put this? Get fucked. I put this down here. Or in there. No, I put it here. Yeah, good. It's alright. I just have lost things. But now I realise all my things are somewhere in a shed. And Dad really does have trillions of dollars under his bed. Look at this. But now look at me. Fucking hell. Anita, my cousin, was the only person that ever said to me, she said it a number of times, she said, Warwick, and this is not me saying it, this is somebody fucking else, and I didn't make him say it. She goes, Warwick, you were so beautiful as a kid, as a baby, as a toddler, or however she was saying it. And because look, fuck you, I'm number 1, people. Yeah, and I'm not fucking scared to say it. Look at that cheeky look. And Dad must have taken these photos. Look at that cheeky look. Like, get out of my face. I'm kicking ass anyway. Look how easy this is. Look at me, fucking hell. See, I thought all this stuff was gone and I'd never see any of this again, and this just popped up in my front bedroom. Someone must have come and put it there, they'll say. They must have snuck in and put it there, or it got teleported there. What do you think about that? We'll go through every one. Fucking oath. Let him see it. You're a golden child, kid, and that's not him saying it. That's the entity, the lung frequency inside Warwick, because Warwick has relinquished his sovereignty in regard to whoever can get in his head and talk at whatever moment. Because he's transparent, people. He's a transparent king. Read and weep. And Nino says, fuck yeah, was it? Nicky says, oh, it's sort of good. Nicky's, that's right, because he thought he was the one. But no. This only comes around once in a half of a universe age, right? Once. Because this is the pinnacle. But it might happen in other ways. I'm working that out in my brain now. But for the moment, all I know is it happens once at the halfway point of the universe's life. Okay? Read it and weep. I'm showing off now, but fuck that. I've been tortured. I've been tortured for the last 45 years. And that story's coming out. And my sister's in big trouble. Well, that's not a threat. I don't go and hurt anyone myself, you understand? And I'm not asking for her to be hurt, right? I've basically said that, well, I have a few times asked for her to be hurt after this, but it's extreme circumstances. I'm not going to actually go and do that myself, and I'm not going to get anybody else to do that either, okay? The universe, she'll die a natural death, all right? Just she'll die a natural death, that's it. However that comes about is how it comes about. She'll be in her bed or something, and just, I'm not... So don't twist my words. I don't go and do that kind of thing, or even wish it. But what she did to me, anyway, I won't go there. She's just in big trouble. Just karmic trouble. When she passes away, whenever that happens, okay, she's in karmic trouble for what she's done. She's the nefarious one. Last one puts you through the boredom, but somebody will like these. Some fucking pedophiles. Some pedophiles will look at those and probably fucking come over it. I shouldn't put it up there, actually. And that's why your dad ultimately, no, he probably had it out there on show. No, he didn't. So who collected all this stuff? Who collected all my stuff? Who? Wow, that's for them to know, they say, and for you to find out, they say. Because that's how you wrote it, Warwick. You have to find it yourself. It's your treasure hunt. Fucking, and that's all I've made it. All this war and destruction is because of I'm on a treasure hunt? No, we're still out of the fucking Big Bang timeline quotient of 1.618 to the negative further than, I believe. Because I got no teeth. But I'm still alive, so maybe that's the linchpin. That I have to die at a certain age, and I haven't died that yet. Because I'm still fucking alive. And this is not an illusion. This is all very real, and it all very much hurts at times. It's funny at times, it's sad, but when you're just given hurt the whole time, it gets a bit much. You tall poppy syndrome to the power of 1 billion to the power of 1 billion. So I'm going to do this later, have another look at that. Because I need to work out what 1%, I need to know how many billionaires there are on the planet. I think there's only like 2,000 or something, but I don't believe that. And if it is, then I'm going straight for corporations as well. There'll be more. And the monopoly's being broken. BlackRock, Vanguard, cannot happen. Cannot happen. Because you're not allowed to have one motherfucker own everything. Okay? Except when I come along. Right? So that's just how it is. And I wasn't supposed to enact this, but marijuana was put in my way. A fucking DNA quotient pyramid was put in my head. And do you think I fucking sound crazy right now? Or just straight on fucking point? Because if I was crazy, I wouldn't be able to string 2 sentences together. Okay? And if you've just fucking joined in, yes, I've had mental illness before. Yes, it was caused by World War II. I didn't finish that story. My pa, the Raditz, right? I know, through observation and just experience, I know that fucked up his DNA, having to experience what he had to experience. Okay? And that in some way, or it is that he's done this many, many times, because I also see my pa as a bit of an evil dude when I picture him in my mind, like not what he looked like as a human, but when I picture think about my part, is like because of full transparency. I'm opening to, but not in that way. I'm telling you what's what. Okay. Look, I'm too serious on point because there is danger coming, and I think it has to do with the wars that are kicking up. And I told you before what my father said. Would you like to my wife? Where would you want to be in, in China or Australia? And she didn't answer, and I just said to him, no, there's not going to be no war. And then, but when he said, and then he said this, then he said, um, I came in with a war because he was 3 years old when World War II started. And then he goes with a grin sort of on his face, and I might go out with a war. Okay? With a grin on his face. Did I have a fucking grin on my face when I said that? No, but he did. And after he said it, he did. Okay? So that's enough for me to know that he's in fucking big trouble himself. But he's my dad, and we're in a tidal lock because he's the moon and I'm the sun. No, not really. We're all that. I'm the sun, but I think the moon is his because it flies around. Those craters can open. Okay, what about this? Laugh at me. Go ahead, dickwads. Laugh away. Because the sooner you don't listen, the longer you don't fucking stay. You go to hell instead, motherfuckers. Or some derivative of it, or get your frequency shaved. So it's up to you. You'll all be getting in my DNA, my quantum. Is it quantum? Yeah, because it's a quantum plank. Yeah, it's a quantum plank. Precise, this clock. That's a very precise motherfucking clock. Okay? Yeah, well now somebody else is talking to him who needs to tell you what's what. Because he doesn't want to talk right now, so that's that. And we could go on for days and days and days. Do you want to keep talking, Warwick? I don't know. Look, there goes the siren. Potential death. We could stop the death and destruction. Like I said, I wouldn't go to war if they asked me. I'd say, fuck off, I'm fighting your war. What, your war that you've just both sides have colluded together to start it, by the way. Yeah. Think I don't know. Fucking hell, I've seen enough. And that's why I'm cracking the shits enough. Enough is enough. So, the sooner people watch this and start believing, right, the sooner these fucking wars will stop. But what they're going to say is, Warwick's doing this now, because they can look at it, right? They have their technology and whatever. Maybe they look at the looking glass, whatever the fuck it is, which works, by the way. If I've jumped, which works, by the way. What I said, I forgot to say, because I basically always remember, okay? So what I forgot to say about about the looking glass and how they can get to the future, I used to say before knowing about this looking glass that you could add up all the scenarios that have happened in the past if you had a machine to do it. Because again, all my stuff just comes from thought experiment, which works because it bounces off and fits together with other points that I've learnt or heard or experienced, in whatever capacity. It's also why I didn't box myself into finishing high school, okay? If things were going smoothly, I would have finished it like that and got the highest score. But I held back because I knew something, my frequency, or however I was acting, because I'm the measuring stick, okay? However I was acting. So get your hell put-offs and get all your fuckwits to start watching me, okay? Because something has ticked me to say what I just said then and change the subject. I'm going to go right now, okay? And at this point, the 15% still stands, so you really actually want to pay 15 fucking percent. But when I get this down to 1%, and because you'll hold off, you fuckwits, I'll find a way to take your money anyway, you fucking dickheads. So pay your 15%, stop fucking killing, and just get on with it. Fuck, sorry, I just sound like an egotistical, misogynist, treating women the way, whatever, which I don't think I'm doing. Just like, I don't want to be doing this. Okay? Nino says, what? Come on, fuckheads, listen. Dad says, no problem, but he's finding all the problems. So pay up the money, and I stop on this, and I go have a real fucking holiday, and I forget about all this. But it's killing. The war's getting bigger and bigger because I'm speaking more and more, and that's what I was going to say before. You use that as an excuse to ramping up these fucking wars that maybe aren't even happening, but they are. You know, you'll use that I'm coming out or demanding this money, or they're saying, oh, we're all fucked anyway now, so we may as well just all go at it. We may as well just, we'll bomb them, those kids. You think an Anzac would fucking be doing that? We'll bomb those kids in a Gaza Strip or whatever it's called, Palestine. We'll just kill all the women and the kids for no fucking reason. Idiots. And then the Zionists, the fucking dickhead Netanyahu says, oh, there is a fucking reason. Well, what is it? Well, because I want a genocide, Netanyahu would say, if he was honest, but he's lying. Because it is a genocide. He hasn't said it is a genocide, so he's lying. So there, he's fucked already, don't you see? I've got the contract. I built this fucking place. I've written all the contracts, which is your frequencies. You need to obey. You need to fucking obey. Because if I'm being like this, there's a reason for it. And I'm coherent, people. Try and get your fucking cops and your fucking cat me off to the mental hospital. I've had that done before because I was mental. Mental as anything I was. Good band, that one. Yeah, how do you know? You're American. Is it? Mental as anything was Australian, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So look. Even this video should be enough for anybody to through your 6 degrees of separation, tell your fucking sister or your brother what I'm going on about, your mum or your dad, and then they go off and tell somebody, and in no time, I'll be making money off these videos, and then I'll quieten down, and everything will just quieten down. Or we, as a people, get together, right, and that's what we should do, is every human should just say, look, and as well, if they ask you to go to war, like if they ask me, I'd say, no, I'm not fighting your war. What do you fight war for, I might ask, but that would just be a silly question, because it shouldn't be happening anyway. What are you doing this war for? I know it's about this or that, but it's never a real reason, and both sides are in cahoots. They pay for each other. And these royal families, these big money families, these wankers. Well, we've left my family line clandestine, very clandestine, for me to rupture right now and tell you what the fuck is what. One thing Dad said to me as well, because I said to him one day, everything's sort of futile, or this was only 5, 6, 7 years ago or something. Everything's sort of futile. It's like we're sort of doomed. And I sort of talked about how my Reed family line is very thin, because it's got my daughter, really. Well, then there's Kim's side, but when you hear about what my sister Kim has done, right, she will be the most hated individual in the whole universe, and all going right down to less than a rock. Yep. Less than a rock, so that means I never fucking see her again. She goes off being a rock. Because everything's conscious, everything can house an aleph, a soul, or whatever. And I'm tired. I'm not tired. I could keep going for a lot longer, but I want to get off, because that's, and then not get off in that way. See, they fucked with the language. I just want no, because it's fundamentally, I do not get off on any of this, right? So don't go there with that, please. So I've got to